Welcome to the recessed regular meeting of the Pascagoula City Council. Today is May 20th, 2025. The time is now 6 p.m. Thank you to those in attendance in council chambers here at City Hall and those joining us online. We're happy to have you here. Tonight, the invocation will be given by John Lynn, and Councilman Gatchell will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand.
Dear Lord, thank you for your many blessings. Thank you for allowing us to live in a country that is free, that allows us to elect representatives to make decisions for the betterment of our communities. And I want to ask you tonight to bless each council member and the mayor as they go forth and the decisions they make for it be the betterment of the city. Amen.
Amen. Please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated. Gentlemen, you have before you the agenda for tonight's meeting. Are there any amendments to the agenda? Do we have a motion to approve the agenda as presented?
So moved. Second.
Motion and second. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The motion passes. Next, we have public comment section. We're pleased to provide an opportunity at each meeting for comments by citizens limited to 3 minutes of speaking time per speaker and no more than a total of 30 minutes. Public comment section of the agenda is not a question and answer session. The mayor, council, and administration officials will take all comments under advisement and may respond or take other potential action at a later time if warranted. Mr. Larson, do we have anyone signed up to speak tonight?
No, sir.
Next, we have one public hearing from the Planning and Building Department. Mr. Church.
Good evening, gentlemen. Tonight we have a special use permit for a tattoo body piercing shop. I say body piercing, he's not doing that, but it's the way it's written in our UDO. The applicant, Adrian Lazo, the property location is 5707 Telephone Road. It's in a neighborhood commercial district. He is requesting a special use permit to operate a tattoo and body piercing in a neighborhood commercial. A year ago, we changed that to allow it in neighborhood commercial districts. This property that's outlined with the dots there is just south of Jefferson on the west side there. It is neighborhood commercial, but the property behind it is all industrial. It's heavily commercialized with contractors and industrial storage lots and all. Like I said, recently approved the UDO amendment for the tattoo studios in the neighborhood commercial. There's an aerial view of it. this little shopping center's been there for quite some time. Like I said, City of Pascagoula, you know, we've only got a couple tattoo parlors in town. Well, now we only have one, and this one coming in will be two. The other one's just bad locations, I guess, or didn't make it. But it is a thriving business throughout everywhere. I mean, Goshen, Ocean Springs, Biloxi, even Moss Point is got multiples, but most people are having to leave town to go and get their body art. The request for special use is consistent with the review standards of 25C and 25L. It's consistent with our adopted plan, and it does demonstrate community need. The planning board recommended approval of the application for special use. If y'all have any questions or concerns, I'd be more than happy to answer them, and Mr. Lazo's here if you have questions for him.
Josh, a quick question. Would that area be more suitable for community commercial?
It would, and that is something that I've been looking at for the past 6 or 7 months, trying to do away with some of that industrial back there, because there's houses further back and they're sitting in industrial, which is non-conforming because we don't allow residents in industrial properties anymore. So I think we need to move that towards the rear properties, towards a single family or MR3 or something like that. And then these other parcels, pretty much down Telephone Road, need to be updated to community commercial, because there's a lot of businesses there that are non-conforming because of the neighborhood commercial. So yeah, that's something we're kind of looking at, but it's such a large, it's even larger than what we've done around the fairgrounds. You're talking about 40, 50 properties that would have to go at one time, and it's a lot to get everybody in. So I'm gonna try to break it up in a couple parts and see if we can't work our way north from the southern part.
Any other questions?
The surrounding properties and the neighbors there, I know it's mostly businesses, but any concerns from them?
No, we've had no concerns whatsoever. There was a tattoo shop there before. They were not permitted. They just moved in, and they were there for a little while and moved out. We didn't even know they were there. That's how quiet they were. So apparently they worked after hours.
No signage, huh?
Nah. His neighbors is a kratom shop that's there. I think it's the candy store or whatever is there, gas station, tax place, stuff like that. So it's, you know, and then they're buffered by the industrial wooded area behind it. So it's just, there's really no houses within any distance of this place. So.
In the residential area, you said is on the west side of the track, correct?
Yeah, I'll get back to the photo here. Yeah, so all the property back here is industrial. And you get back here on both sides of the tracks, there's some residents that are there. They're rental homes that's been back there for, you know, many, many years. But those kind of need to be cleaned up from the industrial. And if we could even put them into a neighborhood commercial back there, because it's closer to residents, but bring up the outer portion to community.
Are those homes accessed by way of Telephone Road or Jefferson Street?
There is a little road, I'm trying to remember the name of it, it's just south, excuse me? Wood Street. Goes back in there towards the railroad tracks.
Off of Telephone Road?
Off of Telephone Road. Yes, the little drive that goes beside there goes into the back. And there's, I think, 2 homes that are right there on the end of that road. And then on the other side of the tracks, there's multiple properties. A couple of them are accessed through a private drive that goes over the tracks back there.
Warehouse back there, too.
Yeah, right. There's Mardi Gras stuff that's stored back there in a warehouse. And
I grew up in this neighborhood, 3 blocks further back down toward the bayou on Highland Drive. And
Okay.
we used to run the roads up here.
And I don't think it's changed a whole lot because there's a lot of woods back there. It's just, and I think a lot of it is close to the tracks for one thing, but it's industrial, and people don't look at industrial property to build. It just kind of scares them off. So I'm thinking that we'll try to clean that up, and it might spur some growth back there.
Any other questions of Mr. Tripp? Is there anyone present to speak for or against this property tonight, this request? Is there a motion to adopt a resolution to approve the request for a special use permit at 5707 Telephone Road to operate a tattoo shop in a neighborhood commercial district?
Motion. Second.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The motion passes.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Next, we have the consent agenda. Does any member of the council have any questions about the consent agenda? Do we have a motion to approve the items on the consent agenda?
Second.
The motion is second. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes. Next, we have the city manager's items. Mr. Larson.
Yes, sir. Up first, item 9A is the PRA board member selection. Yes, 9A. The PRA board member selection. On April 15th, the council interviewed 3 candidates to fill the vacancy on the Pascagoula Redevelopment Authority. Tonight, council will nominate and select a new board member for a 4-year term.
Do we have a motion to appoint someone to this position
I'll make a motion to appoint Ms. McCauley to the PRA vacancy.
for a 5-year term? Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion?
Yes, I think we need to increase the number of people that's on this PRA because we are passing I know very, very well-equipped person that could do it. I support Mitch, but at the same time, we need to make space for some of these other people because I think 2 more people with great minds would help it. So, I don't know what you guys think about it, but I think that's something we need to look at.
Well, you know, that we've been talking about that for a few
Right.
years. Matt brought it up early in my term, and that's something that
The urban renewal statute, that the state law that allows us to have an urban renewal authority or agency specifies that you can only have, or shall have 5
So you
commissioners.
can't do that, okay.
That's state law, yeah.
But to follow, excuse me.
I was just gonna ask, there's no way to get a variance on that, some way to.
Well, we could ask for our state delegation to try to change that, or, I mean, you could look at other options, like having non-voting members or an advisory group, or, something like that to get more people plugged in.
Can we look into that?
Yep.
That would be great.
All our other commissions and all, we have at least one per board, so.
Yeah.
But to follow up on Felix's comment, we had 4 very qualified applicants. We had really talented folks who could do a great job, any one of them in that position. And it's a thankless task, but we have to select one, and we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes. Thank you.
All right, item B is a resolution approving and authorizing emergency drainage repairs at the intersection of Parsley and Manto Streets. On Friday, May 9th, the city was made aware of a sinkhole that had opened up there at the intersection of Parsley and Manto. This spot has been an issue for some time, but we have been able to temporarily resolve the issue in the past. The main issue is a collapsed drainage pipe under the road there. That would require a large project to correct because there's issues along the road there, along Parsley to 11th Street there from that intersection. And so we realized the problem was progressing a lot faster than it had in the past. So we closed the street 2 weeks ago. I think it was a Friday, we closed the street. And due to the emergent status and the dangerous conditions at the site, the city contacted 3 contractors to look at the damage. 2 of those 3 submitted quotes, and the contract for the construction repairs was awarded to bottom to top. Construction, the amount of $565,984.99. It didn't follow the same process as we normally do because it was an emergency situation. We had to resolve it soon. The street's still closed, and so we had to make a move there to get that fixed as quick as possible. So comptroller was consulted, and repair funds are available.
That's quite a hole.
Yeah.
And so they're going to replace the pipe that has collapsed that's causing this.
Yeah, James can probably give you more details, but it's about 475 feet of pipe that they're going to be replacing there. in that area, and I believe it's from Manto west and a little bit east, or maybe it's backwards, it's going east and a little bit west, and so basically the intersection there. And so there's probably more issues down the line that we have to address as well, but this will get that intersection back open.
My question is, how close is that? I haven't seen it to Ramey's. Is it further south?
It's south, yeah, it's south on Manto from Ramey's, so,
Okay.
yeah.
Wow.
Will this just be stormwater, or will there be any additional lines replaced?
It's just past Colonial Manor, the
Okay,
entrance
okay,
to
right,
Colonial
okay,
Manor off
gotcha.
Parsley.
Okay.
So because of the depth of the pipe, it's going to basically mean we have to take out the entire road width to get down the pipe because there's about 10 to 12 foot of cover on top of that pipe. It's a 42-inch pipe, about 12 foot deep. So to get down to that depth, we'll have to take out the whole road, do extensive dewatering, use trench boxes, all those kind of things to get down to that depth. Pretty big equipment for that size concrete pipe we're putting in there. But then when they're done installing the pipe, bedding it, bringing the fill material back in, road base, rebuilding the road. So we're going to try to work around. There are water and sewer pretty close to where we're working. So the intention is to work around those. Fingers crossed we can do that.
So this is not a sewer line, it's a drain?
Yes, sir.
A storm drain?
Yeah.
Is this on the east or west side of that bridge on Parsley?
West.
Yeah, west side. Yeah, it's basically we're from Canal and Parsley, 500 foot east.
And the hole was directly in the middle of the intersection. I mean, you've probably, if you've driven by there, you've seen the cone on top of it for a while, because it's just was a recurring spot that needed assistance there, and so
And
it
if I jumped in the hole, I would disappear. I mean, it's huge.
Yeah, and I mean the hole's big, and I think people think they can drive around the hole and be okay. But if you look under there, there's 5 foot of asphalt with nothing under it that just hasn't collapsed yet. So that's it's a very dangerous situation. I think we need to keep it closed till we get it fixed. Obviously, equipment is on site. We should start seeing materials in the next day or so, and then they should start digging before the end of the week.
They give a timeline on how long it's going to take?
They have 60 days, but that's just because we have some unforeseen conditions that we're working with there. I think they can probably get it done in less than 30.
Okay.
So the drainage pipe itself collapsed?
Yeah. Yeah, it was a corrugated plastic pipe with way too much depth on it. So it's yeah, it was a matter of time. And band-aiding it, I think Justin and I agreed, was just not digging down and fixing the one spot and then it open up again 10 feet away would just kind of be a nightmare situation. So we made the decision to let's fix the entire run of pipe there.
I agree. Any other questions? Do we have a motion to adopt a resolution approving and authorizing emergency drainage repairs at Parsley Avenue and Manto Street?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The motion passes. Next item, Mr. Larson.
Item C is a resolution approving contractor selection for IG Levy Park playground improvements. City went out for bids for the park improvements, and 4 bids were received. The lowest and best bid was Struthers Recreation LLC in the amount of $177,078. This project's funded with CDBG funds and is within budget.
Do we have a motion to adopt a resolution approving the bid for contractor for IG Levy Park playground improvements?
Slow mo.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion?
It's gonna look nice, huh, Just?
Yeah, it's resurfacing of some playground, of some of the, some
Surfaces.
rubber replacement there, and some playground, replacing some equipment. So yeah, it's all necessary stuff there. Needs to be done to IG Levy.
I hadn't been to IG Levy in quite a while until a month or so ago, and it's a really nice park.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good stuff there. The kids are just loving it.
Made a lot of improvements and we continue to.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
And clean too, so.
Yep.
yeah, absolutely.
So the Struthers, have we used them before, or are they local or?
James probably,
The splash pad.
Oh, okay.
yes, that's right.
All right.
And the other, to the playground at IG Levy, is two components, is the 2 to 5 and the 5 and up. They recently helped us do the 5 and up, now it's just the 2 to 5.
Yeah, and that splash pad gets a lot of good use and a lot of praise. So.
Mhm.
Any other questions, comments? We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes. Next, we have the city attorney's agenda item. Mr. Moore.
I have two items tonight, two ordinances. The first one relates to the waiver of utility fees and building permit fees. This is a program that's been in place for a while, and it's set to expire at the end of this month. And it's intended to incentivize various types of development. So the ordinance before you tonight would extend this program for another 4 years. It would also increase incentives in the newly established East Pascagoula urban renewal area. Right now, for commercial development in that area to be eligible for an exemption, the development would have to be $5 million. This would lower that to $150,000 so that more developers would be eligible in that area of town. And then the last thing this ordinance would do would increase the maximum amount of abatements for residential from $5,000 to $7,000. With construction prices increasing, the $5,000 abatement doesn't go as far as it used to when this was implemented originally.
Do we have a motion to adopt an ordinance amending the Code of Ordinances for a waiver of fees for commercial development?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion, questions? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes. Next item, Mr. Moore.
The next one is the ordinance adjusting city council salaries. For state law, that you have to have an ordinance to adjust the salary. Other than COLA increases, there hasn't been a salary increase that we could find since 2005. So it's been about 20 years, and this is presented for council consideration.
Do you have some comparisons of what other councilors and mayors are making across the coast?
It's in line, both are in line. The salary for mayor and council were both in line with others were making. It was actually below, but it averages out to be about the same. One thing too, this was approved as part of the FY 2025 budget to go into effect after the new council is sworn in.
So it's already been approved, we're just
It was
putting
approved as part of the budget, yeah, but the ordinance has to be changed to reflect that.
changing the ordinance.
That's right.
Do we have a motion to adopt an ordinance, the Code of Ordinances regarding city council compensation?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Next is the docket of claims. Any questions regarding the docket of claims? Do we have a motion to approve the docket of claims?
Second.
Motion and second. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes. Next is the payroll docket. Are there any questions regarding the payroll docket? Do we have a motion to approve the payroll docket?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes. Next, we have mayor council items. Any mayor council items at this time? I really don't have anything. Councilman Hyde?
I don't have anything.
Councilman Fournette?
No, sir. Thank you.
Councilman Merrill?
I appreciate police and handling stuff over in our ward and a little more presence. You know, they made some extra run-throughs and stuff, so appreciate that, guys.
We all do.
Yeah.
Councilman Parker? Councilman Blythe is absent. Councilman Gatchell?
I've had an opportunity to be at the beach park a few times this week with elementary schools, and I just want to say, great job on the bathroom renovations and just the overall appearance and the way the park looks and the use the community gets out of it. So, thank you.
Air-conditioned bathrooms.
Very nice.
Isn't that amazing?
That's awesome.
Next is executive session. We have a motion to go into closed session to determine if there is a need for executive session.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you, everyone. That concludes the public portion of our agenda this evening.